You know, when people think of the waters that surround Long Island, they think, oh, summer and beaches. Well, our Bay Constables are on patrol year round. And this weekend, you know what? We're lucky they were here. They were able to save somebody in the frigid waters not far from here. And we're here today to honor them for the great job they did saving this individual's life and for the great job they do year round. We had a hunter kayaking this weekend who was a duck hunter and which frequent these waters year round, particularly in the winter. And he fell out of his kayak. And he was starting to have water go into his waders. And if anybody knows anything about fishing, when water's getting into your waders, those are called weights. Luckily, he was able to dial 911, and our Bay Constables were able to identify where he was located and get out there and save his life. And he was facing frigid temperatures on the water of about 50 degrees. And when they got him, his body temperature, if I'm not mistaken, was approximately 90 degrees. What does that mean? He was facing certain death. And if not for the actions of these two individuals in the Bay Constables, certainly we would hear having a different story. And look, if any of you have paid attention to the press the last 2 weeks, I heard the tragic events of what happened just 2 weeks ago out east, or the young man perishing when he fell in the water out in the frigid temperatures out on the North Fork. It's a terrible story, and nobody wants to have that story. And that's why we're lucky to have our Bay Constables out here patrolling. And on behalf of all of us in the town of Hempstead, all the board members and all the residents, we want to say thank you. Thank you for getting the job done. Thank you for saving their lives. And thank you for the great work you've done year in and year out during every season.
As someone who was born and raised and has grown up on these waterways, I think we would all agree that many move and have come to the town of Hempstead because of our beautiful beaches, our beautiful waterways, fishing, boating. There's so many activities that sometimes we take for granted, but that's why people move to and visit the town of Hempstead. And 24/7, 365 days a year, the town of Hempstead Bay Constables are out on our waterways, whether it's the 4th of July weekend or a cold, windy day in January. They are out there living the oath that they took to protect and serve America's largest township. And just the other day was no different.
Let me say this. Most people think of Bay Constables with the reflection on a popular show in the 90s called Baywatch, which, was a lot of fun and games. They'd have some rescues once in a while. But basically it was, about glamour and all that. There's nothing glamorous about being a Bay Constable. You're out in stormy weather and treacherous waters, making sure that our boaters and that the people that use our waterways are safe. And that's one of the things we're proud of in the town of Hempstead is our great waterfront. We have beachfront, bayfront. We have some of the best wetlands and water areas in the world.
Residents shouldn't take for granted our waters are used year round. There are hunters, there are kayakers, there are people who enjoy these waters. And like I said, I hearken back to the story just 2 weeks ago. Look, it struck me. It struck me as this young man, I think it was 18, 19-year-old, lost his life out on the North Fork in the waters. And these Bay Constables will tell you, people use these year-round. They use our waters. That's the beauty of it. And if it wasn't for your swift action, and if it wasn't for your dedication, we would have had another tragic story. But instead, we have a great story about what you've done for the residents and what you've demonstrated. And remind residents to always be diligent, always be safe on our waters. If you're going out there, have your phone. Wear the life preserver. You know what? I don't care if it's a flare of some sort to identify, because the water's beautiful and majestic, and the waters on Long Island are also very, very dangerous.